Hi, hello, me again. Who's me? Well, me is Michael, the ever so gummy-filled host of Writer Rewind. What's Writer Rewind, you ask? Well, Writer Rewind is a show where I cover the latest news about writer drivers, henshin devices, and figures released in the last 3 to 4 weeks. Or more, depending on when the boss feeds me. Alright, if you're all out of questions, then we can begin this episode. And we begin with the full unveiling of the CSM Orga Gear, something that was teased ages ago and is now finally getting released. This was the driver used by Yuji Kiba to transform into Kamen Rider Orga in the Kamen Rider 5's movie Paradise Lost. Technology and mold-wise, the Orga Gear is just a retooling of the CSM 5's Gear version 2, which is good because that CSM driver is insanely well made. Now don't let that fool you into thinking it's just a direct copy of that driver, it has plenty of things setting it apart. Those things being a different design for the belt and side buckles, making it completely show accurate. It has different sound effects, all specific to Orga, like the 000 henshin sound, Orga's shouts of joy, climax finisher C, D, E, and F, and of course various pieces of BGM. More specific to the CSM Orga Gear is the included Sword of Hades in its dagger mode. The sword comes with its holder, slashing sound effects, and when you set the mission memory in it, you can use the Orga phone to unleash a Exceed charge remotely. All in all, a very good CSM release, and a must-have for anyone completing their CSM 5's collection. Up next is the S.H.Figuarts Shinkocho Seiho Kamen Rider Armed Hibiki from Kamen Rider Hibiki. That's right, the first ever Shinkocho Seiho rider finally gets his final form in the line. On a purely aesthetic level, I have to say I'm floored. Shinkocho Seiho figures have been knocking it out of the park lately, and Armed Hibiki is no different. The figure itself stands at 145mm tall and comes with the armed saber, extra parts for the armed saber so you can swap it between sword attack mode and sound attack mode, a waist mount for the armed saber, armed disc animals, and a waist mount for the Henshin Onsa Onkaku, and that ever so Shinkocho Seiho set of interchangeable hands. Lastly, the figure also comes with extra hands for the original Shinkocho Seiho Hibiki, so that figure too can hold the armed saber. Sadly, I do have to add that this figure does not come with the Ongekibo Reka, even though they are shown in every single last one of the images. You have to buy the original Shinkocho Seiho Hibiki if you want Armed Hibiki to have his drumsticks, I'm afraid. Our next topic isn't an actual release, but a teaser. A teaser for the CSM Double Driver version 2 from Kamen Rider Double. Usually, these teasers let us know absolutely fuck all as to what's coming up, but this time we've got a few things. Like voice lines from both Shotaro and Philip. Yes, genuinely, the previous one didn't have that. I had to double check, I couldn't believe it myself. But the biggest part is that it will somehow have the ability to do the double henshin using 2 CSM drivers. No clue how they're gonna do that, but hey. Whenever this release gets more info, I'll be sure to cover it again. And here we have the DX Eldora driver from Kamen Rider Gochizo. This was the driver used by Glion to transform into either Kamen Rider Eld or Kamen Rider Dorado, and thanks to the included Dark Ether and the Eld Dragon Chemi cards, you can transform into both riders. Let's first cover how to transform into Kamen Rider Eld. First, you swipe the Eld Dragon Chemi card on top of the Eldorado driver. Then, set it in the middle of the driver. Next, you pull the lever, which will transform you into Kamen Rider Eld. Here's how to transform into Dorado. First, you swipe the Dark Ether Chemi card on top of the driver, and then set it in the middle of the driver. Then you rotate the cube on the side of the driver, transforming you into Kamen Rider Dorado. By rotating the cube again after transformation, you activate special moves. Depending on how many times you turn the cube, you will activate different finishers. And by closing and opening the lever, you will activate the ultimate move. And by rotating the cube before closing the lever again, you will activate even more sounds for the finisher. And as with any other DX Gacha driver, you can use any and all of the Chemi cards with this driver. We have one last Kamen Rider Gacha item for today, the S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Gacha Daybreak. This figure represents the alternate future version of Gotchard in both his fire and base forms. The Fireling Afterburner, yes that is genuinely what the cape is called, is made from PVC, so its texture and posing is closer to how it looked and functioned in the show. The Fireling Afterburner is also removable, and so is the Gotchard Igniter, allowing you to also have Daybreak in the base Steam Hopper form. The figure stands at 150mm tall and comes with the Gotchard Igniter, Gotchard Tornado, extra parts for the Gotchard Tornado, and a set of flaming interchangeable hands. And here we have something earlier than we usually get it. Allow me to introduce you to the S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Gabu Poppin Gummy form from, well, Kamen Rider Gabu. The figure represents Shoma's stomach's transformed state using the Poppin Gummy Gochizo and the Henshin Belt Gabu. Just like how they used the brand new paint type for the S.H.Figuarts Gacha art so that he looks as close to the show as possible, for Gabu, they're using a brand new type of clear plastic to recreate his iconic style from the show. The figure stands at 150mm tall and comes with a set of juicy interchangeable hands. The popping gummy Gochizos in the Gabu and the side holder can also be removed and held by Gabu. How cute. And our last item for today is the DX Henshin Gun Valen Buster from Kamen Rider Gabu. The Valen Buster, of course, being the Henshin gun used by Hanto Karakida to transform into Kamen Rider Valen. Since it's a gun, it's to be expected that by pressing the trigger, shooting sounds will play. This goes both for the gun without a Gochizo and the closed gun with a Gochizo. If you press and hold the trigger, sound effects will play for rapid fire. Here's how to use it. First, you set the included Chokodon Gochizo in the blue middle part of the Valen Buster. Then, you manually move the bottom and top levers to the front, activating the Gochizo. Then, all that's left to do is to pull the trigger, which will transform you into Kamen Rider Valen. Also included is the Domaru Gochizo, which, if used in the same way as the Chokodon Gochizo, will transform you into Kamen Rider Valen Domaru form. After transformation, if you open and close the levers again, you will start the finisher, pull the trigger to unleash it. There will also be a special set for the DX Valen Buster, which comes with Valen's belt buckle. This belt doesn't actually do anything, but it does act as a holder for the DX Valen Buster. Lastly, this Henshin gun also works with any of the other DX Gochizo released for the line, so be sure to give them all a try. And with that, we turn the page on another Rider Rewind. Did you see anything you like? Well, if you did, it'd be a good idea to stop by the Toku Source, your one-stop shop for any and all things tokusatsu. And if you're in a talkative mood, why not join the Toku Source Discord? It's also a good place to post whatever you've bought recently. Trust me, the people there go crazy for that sort of stuff. Oh, and why not swing by my Twitter, or Blue Sky? It's where all of my deepest, darkest thoughts go. Or not, I don't post that much. Ding! Links to all of these things will be in the description below. Alright, I talked your ear off enough for another month. See you all next time!